My guest is Richard Ahiagba, who is the governing party's Director of Communications. He's been doing a lot of work around the country, explaining positions taken by government and the party. And tonight, he's graciously agreed an interview with us. Hi, Richard. Welcome to Point Blank. It's been a while.
Thank you, Solomon. Yes, it's been a while.
What have you been up to? I mean, after Asinov, and a few other things, we've really not seen you around here.
Yeah. Well, I've been listening and watching you on TV and radio. That's what I've been doing.
I see. But, it appears that when one thing is getting, resolved, something else pops up. So last week, we experienced this Occupy Julobi house demo in Accra and all the matters around the police, etc. Just when that was dying down, today, some Ghanaians in the UK also demonstrated to occupy the High Commission in the UK. That's surely, of course, it's an expression of their democratic right. But is it not becoming too much for a government that claims to be doing well, that claims to have done unprecedented things, that every now and then you have demonstrations, here and there? So, for example, on Monday, there is another demonstration against the BOG, by extension government. The minority is seeking to occupy the BOG, etc. Now, these young people in the UK demonstrating against what they call hardship and poor governance in Ghana. That should also be a bit disturbing for you as a communicator for the ruling party.
Yeah, thank you very much, Solomon. Very good evening to your listeners. I think that the world is in a very difficult place. So demonstrations, especially democratic countries, are seeing increasing numbers of demonstration, not only Ghana. And it is good that way when people have the occasion to be able to demonstrate and express their feelings. Governments listen. I know especially our government listens. Tomorrow, there's going to be a train strike in London. It's a demonstration over conditions of service. And this has been carrying on for a long time because there's hardship, because there's difficulty. This is a global situation. So Ghana is not in this alone. The demonstration, though I won't say the name, I'm opposed to the name given to that demonstration in Ghana, the recent one by the Democracy Hub. While I support their right inherent to demonstrate, I'm opposed to the name. You see, the concerns they raise, these are the same concerns driving people in the United Kingdom to demonstrate. So the right to demonstrate is fully guaranteed, but let's look at the issues. If I were them, I wouldn't demonstrate because I would have appreciated the situation.
If you were in their
shoes, I were in their shoes, I wouldn't demonstrate.
You wouldn't have demonstrated.
No, I wouldn't have, because really, what is the point? You understand the situation, right? You know what is happening in your country and in the world. So the demonstration must have a purpose. What is the driving factor behind that? Is there that intentionally something is not happening? The resources are there. The conditions are right for certain things to be done and it's not being done or are not being done. Then I have a cause to demonstrate. But to demonstrate because it has a good political soundbite, or maybe it creates a certain environment, I think that probably
is... They think there's general misgovernance or bad governance. The hardship, of course, hardship is everywhere. But where you see your government trying to solve the problem, trying to reflect the mood of the people, then that we can say, yes, we understand what's happening. But where you have totally opposite, an opposite of what the realities are, you're not seeing a reflection of what the problem is in the way leaders behave, etc. That should be cause for concern. So the roads are bad, yes. Hospitals, they can't get the care they need. We just talked about kidney dialysis at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. The fee increased astronomically without recourse to the mother body, and a whole lot of it appears nothing is happening, and that is their concern.
So Salam, one of the problems we have is that once an issue comes up and it's bad, it's a bad news, people don't know, or people don't take the time to trace the source of the matter. Summarily, they blame it on government. These kidney dialysis matter you're talking about are issues that are yet to be approved. They are issues in their initial stages. But then the implementation, I think the Kolebu is come up to be able to deal with this matter.
So
The
I mean,
but I'm just saying,
in essence, it
I'm
means the
just making
center
a point.
cannot hold.
No,
so,
it's not.
So there's a lot of disorder. People who know what to do
Yeah.
are refusing to do the right thing because they feel there's a total,
Well, but you see, so hold on
breakdown
there.
of order. But somebody must call the shots.
If you let me finish, then right here in this studio, there are people you hold accountable. You have a general manager, you have a managing director, right? But then you don't go straight to them if anything goes wrong on this program. You find the individual responsible at your level and then allocate the responsibilities and the failure to them. But here we don't have that. People summarily just go and blame government. Right? But something is happening in Kolebu. People in Kolebu, by their governance structure, have responsibilities. That's what I think that you, the media, can help us. Say that, no, this is not government. This is the individual failing to do their job. Because why? If you represent a government by President Akufo-Addo, for example, you want to say that what happened in Kolebu, Akufo-Addo then sanctioned that to be done? It cannot be. So we need to identify the issues, make sure that everybody at their level who is a leader take responsibility, because at that level, they have been mandated, empowered to take that piece of responsibility and exercise it for the benefit of Ghanaians. If they fail, let's look at them and assign the responsibility. Let's not move all the time and say it's government, it's the president, it's NPP. That's not the better way of assessing the issue, because then we'll miss the point. Because they can then, allocate their failures to other people. And that has happened a lot of times.
They feel there is impunity. Nobody is punished for wrongdoing. So nobody actually cares. So they go ahead and do what they want to do.
It's just how we've been processing the issue. Okay, that's how we process the issue. It's not about responsibility or people are not being held to account. It's just because people feel that, if it happens, they are buying, they'll blame government for it. And that's the problem. And you and I have a responsibility when we sit to talk about these things to allocate the responsibilities or the failures to where they belong. Then we can ask that action be taken. So if we agree to say that, well, who made that summary decision to begin charging people these amounts without proper approval? Then we say it is Mr. A. Okay, Mr. A, why did you do that? The consequences is that you'll be removed or you'll be sanctioned. Then we can say that we have the authority. Please, Ministry of Health or Ministry of what, can you take action on this? So then we're allocating the responsibility appropriately rather than summarily just dumping it on government. When we do that, it creates appearance of misgovernance. It creates appearance of something being done untoward, which in actual fact is not the case.
So I mean, talking about protests, etc. I mean, we saw the Occupy Julobi House. You don't want to mention it.
Yeah.
But
it's not acceptable. I don't think we should condone it.
But that's a name, really. But we saw
it's a wrong name.
We saw how the demonstrators came face to face with the police. Even though you acknowledge their rights to demonstrate,
yes,
it does appear that this government is quite averse to demonstrations. And so anytime there is a demonstration, the government uses, allegedly, the force of the police, the power of the police, to try and suppress that right, so that people are unable to demonstrate. They run to court, they do this, they do that, change your route, do this, you can't go here, you can't go there. And in the end, they frustrate the demonstrators. Demonstrations are usually symbolic. Where I want to go to is for a reason. The route I want to use is for a reason. The day I want to do the demonstration is for a reason, for symbolic purposes. But the police will try to change all of that, making the thing meaningless. There's a view that government is allegedly using its agencies like the police to suppress, such democratic expressions.
Solom, you are a lawyer, and if it was okay for anybody to just do anything they wanted in a democracy, there would be no rules, right? The Public Order Act exists for a reason. People must comply with a certain basic minimum guidelines to be able to exercise their right, because there's an interface, right? Your right and my right. There's an intersection where we don't cross to a point where you jeopardize my right by trying to exercise yours. So if they want to demonstrate and the police engaging them to say, please, this is acceptable, that's not acceptable, it's just a thing of building a consensus to agree which way to go. The symbolism of what you're doing, which is the demonstration, will be fully realized if you actually come on the street to express your views. It is not a path you go that validates
the path is important. For example, I want to demonstrate towards the Jubilee House,
yes,
and you tell me I should go to Independence Square.
But then, what if you can't go to the Jubilee House?
Why can't I go to the Jubilee House? People have demonstrated along that route.
You and I were not security people, but
but people have demonstrated on that route.
I agree, but there are time and season for everything.
Without giving any tangible explanation or
who
reason.
Needs tangible reasons?
No, but
presently, hold on.
The public must know.
Hold on. I'm saying that if you're living in Ghana today, you want additional explanation and justification for reasons why you can't go to the Jubilee House and demonstrate. I'm wondering what your political awareness level is. In our sub-region, you realize what is happening by the minute, by the day. The threat levels have heightened. And so you think that it should just be okay that allow them to go? The circumstances, the circumstances are not the same. I think that a very recent demonstration by, I think, Arise Ghana or one of those groups went to the Jubilee House, isn't it? Right? So under the circumstance, it was permissible for them to do it. Police could manage that. But where you realize that this may degenerate the potential and the environment you're operating in, you cannot allow the same.
But send them to a place which is close to the venue. Don't tell them you should go to Independence Square.
Honestly, I'm not going to hold brief for the police, but I'm only telling you that on a common sense basis, with the environment we are in, if they say don't go to the Jubilee House, I will understand. Now they have to engage them to find an acceptable place. I have myself indicated that I disagree with the handling of the demonstrators on the day. Now, what is necessary is dialogue to come to a reasonable conclusion to allow citizens to express their feelings. And I tell you, Salom, to correct the impression, this government and this party is not opposed to people demonstrating. Since we've been in government, and you're
opposed to dissent.
No, we're not. We're not. And that impression must be corrected to the extent that people have demonstrated. Now, you see, when there is demonstration, people go out, the atmosphere is charged, and things happen, right? That cannot be a system direction to say that we will not allow demonstration. Things happen. But the inherent right for people to notify and get on the street to demonstrate, since this government has been in power, I can remember at least about 5 of them, people have gone peacefully. Even my good friend Martin Pebu organized his one-person demonstration. He went and came
that's
back.
a demonstration which was well attended.
Yes, I'm saying.
Reloaded.
Yes, I'm saying. He went and came home, right? Why are we not referencing that? So the circumstances of the events must be taken into account. Let's not have these blanket generalizations and say that under this government, people won't allow demonstration and all. Who we are reflects the allowance of people to express their values. And by way of demonstrating, express their frustration by way of demonstrating. So as a party and as a government, that avenue is there. But the only thing you want to ensure, and if you are minded to be fair about these issues, you would come to agree, Salom, that if there are circumstances preventing people from having to demonstrate at the Jubilee House, and you are told not to go there, it cannot be equal to disallowing people from demonstrating.
So
how
the
police handle it is a separate thing.
The minority will on Monday demonstrate, against the BOG and all the things they have done or captured in the Auditor General's report. But you see how they have struggled to get to this point. They wanted to do this before. The police came back to say this and that and that and that. 2, 3 at times they've had to postpone it, and we don't even know what the police will have up their sleeves for the Monday demonstration.
No.
Give you notice from over a month, last minute you run to court, and all of that. That is to suppress it, and there's a view that the system sanctions that.
Salom, you are falling for this the politics of people. When you are engaging with government, there's always, or in any negotiation situation, there's always the desire to get more, right? To push a bit more and get a bit more. So people who want to demonstrate will push, will want to get this. Consensus must be built. And consensus is not a point defined on a straight line, right? It is to the extent to which people are willing to give in and to take out. So when people are negotiating, I want this, you said, no, you can't have that, maybe you can have this. That negotiation cannot be said to be preventing people from demonstrating, because if you are going to demonstrate at the Jubilee House, is a proper security area, under the circumstances, things are tough. You don't want to just take chances. If you want to go and demonstrate at BOG, we want to negotiate because we deem that place as a security zone. It's a very crowded area. We want to make sure that it's managed. We want to understand. That dialogue is in its nature democracy. I'm surprised that it's lost on us. That negotiation and dialogue, by definition, is democracy. So why don't we engage that? Get into the process of agreeing. And once we agree and the path is taken, then people can go there and express their views. But it cannot be that. It cannot be that as citizens who by themselves, in whom the power resides, want to jeopardize the same power they have handed people.
I'm not sure about they wanting to jeopardize. It's an expression of their democratic rights.
No, I agree, but you cannot. Well, you see, where your right starts, somebody starts from.
Yes, I get
to the extent that they want to go to the Jubilee House, somebody says that there's a security concern that you can't go there. It is not to say you cannot demonstrate. Find an alternative path.
So, for example, when this was done, they were put at the Afrikiko area. You can put them at 37. You can put them somewhere just to show that they are close to the place they want to be. But to take them to Independence Square, which is in the opposite direction entirely, that is a difficult. But
it's a significant national space where when you go, you can still make your point. The demonstration.
They are not occupying Independence House, Independence Square, the Black Star Square. They are seeking to occupy the
Jubilee House. Given it and Occupy Jubilee House, right? So Occupy Jubilee House,
then
but because of security concerns, you can't
occupy it.
Yes, you can't go there. I mean, I'm not. I think you need to let me understand. If you say that it is okay whether police wants it, whether it's safe or not, they should just go there because they want to.
No, that's not the point.
Well, if that's not the point, then what is the point?
No, the point is
that you can't go there because there's a security concern. So what is the alternative agreement to do it? That's what we have to talk about. But if you're saying that you can't let them go there,
in the end, they did not go to the Independence Square. In the end, they didn't go to the Independence Square. Government ends up getting a lot of bad press, but they ended up doing what they wanted to do. Not necessarily going to the Jubilee House, but they came close to the Jubilee House, which was okay. But nothing happened. Did anything happen?
Yes, I tell you that.
Nothing happened.
Government is not engaging citizens to gain advantage by way of stopping them. It is to make sure that we are all safe, that we don't degenerate into a situation that will worsen things for all of us.
But what happened on the first day was worse than could have happened if they were allowed to demonstrate.
But generally, it is because the organizers and the police could not find a meeting ground to agree on what democratically their engagement should lead to. So that disagreement is what created that. That cannot be allocated to anybody outside that negotiation platform. They engaging police can't come to an agreement to say that go here, okay, we'll go there, and there's peace. But when you become confrontational and trying to create a problem that will jeopardize the peace and stability of the country, the police have a responsibility. And I tell you that on the day, I disagree with the handling of the situation.
This is the point blank. We were speaking to Richard Ahiagba, who is Director of Communications of the ruling New Patriotic Party. We're dealing with a number of issues. Richard, the party you speak for, or the party whose communication you direct, appears to be in some turmoil. One of your founding members, Alan Chermantin, this week resigned from your party. He's gone to form his own movement for change, seeking to lead that movement against your party in the next election. That should send shivers down the spine of the ruling party, no?
Well, it hasn't, but it's
we are NPP.
Yes, we are.
His move, best the hashtag we are NPP. That surely is symptomatic of a group that has been shaken to its core and wants to rally around a hashtag.
Not at all. The New Patriotic Party is resolute and is focused. It's a party that is grounded in tradition. It's not a party that is wavering. It's a party that knows where we come from, where we're going, and how we're going to get there. So we have our senses well placed. Now, it's unfortunate. Very, very sad for me that a very seasoned politician, a leader, a founding member of our party would one day just leave the party. Something he's helped build, I think, is most unfortunate. But I've learned something a long time ago, that if you're a leader, you mold consensus. You don't search for consensus. You mold it.
He said he's been trying to do that. He's been trying to do that. He's raised the issue at many places, and his supporters are being attacked. Anybody who identifies with Alan, is
Look, I tell you
viewed
what.
with so much disdain
Let me just
and all
tell
of
you,
that.
those are excuses, exit
No,
excuses.
but he feels
no,
it.
I'm
He
just saying
feels it,
that
knows
those
it.
are exit excuses. What the Deputy Minister for Finance, Abna Oseasari, supported him.
Her seat is under threat.
No, hold on. I'm saying that, but while she was supporting him, she was still a deputy minister. My own brother, John Peter Mewu, Minister for Railways, supported him. He's still in place, right? Whether your seat is under threat or not, that's democracy, right? So it's not as if that anybody has
but there's a view that because you identify with him, the system will sponsor candidates.
I'm not sure about that. But you see, you can have any number of things to say about anything, right? If you want to just bastardize something, have anything to say about it. Even God, right? People had reason to criticize him, right? So for any given situation, you can't have anything to say about it.
It says that people,
but I'm only telling you that
have hijacked the party.
I don't know who they are. I don't know who those people are. This particular presidential primaries was one of the cleanest. The processes were very transparent and open. In fact, last Tuesday, I was on a program with Honorable Kennedy Japon's campaign manager, my own brother, Kwame Owusu. Credited the Presidential Election Committee for having done a yeoman's job. The same committee.
So it's not necessarily about the committee.
But who is managing the process?
It says leadership. And he in fact, in an interview with Bernard, he took the problem beyond the executives or the party. He feels that there are hands somewhere directing affairs, unseen hands. And he said he did not want to lift the veil. He said he will not lift the veil now.
The man is out of the boat. So if there's somebody in the boat and he's
been part of the process.
No, I'm saying that he's out of the boat. And if he's concerned about the boat being steady and he has people in the boat that he loves and he wants the boat to steady up, then he should say who they are. Right now, the cat is out of the bag. What is he waiting for?
He talks about anti-Kufuor sentiments. Now, Kufuor himself has said that if you don't deal with the factionalism in the party, it may destroy the party. It obviously means that there are factions in the party with so much competing interest that may likely destabilize or destroy the party not manage well.
Those are two different things. If you say there are some unseen hands hijacking the party, I'm coming. Yeah, I'm saying, but there's none. Absolutely none. But you can find any number of bad things to say about a good thing if you want to. If I put Bible here, you find all sorts of things in it that is terrible. You can say a number of things. So people are just saying things because that's what suits their position. The very point the former president John Ajekun Kufuor has made, I think that, the perception of faction in the party exists. But for me, I don't belong to any faction. I belong to the New Patriotic Party. And I know many, many, many people belong to the New Patriotic Party. I don't know who says they belong to any faction. But if the perception exists, let's deal with it. It's like you and I, even in your working environment, there are people you get along with more. There are people you can casually engage them. If that's what people are calling factionalism,
but if
I
that
don't know.
grows to the extent of destroying the work or the workplace relationship, then that is a problem.
In this Fourth Republic, the New Patriotic Party has not done badly at all. We've not done badly at all. So really, it's a human institution. These challenges exist. It's work in progress. We're working at it. But it shouldn't be that at this material moment, anybody will conclude that this party has gone to a certain place that is irredeemable. That is not true. Those perceptions are people's perception furthering their interests and politics. And I think that we should all be mindful about the direction of the party, the mission of the party, captured in our constitution to say that we are a group of people with a certain value system, driving a certain objective to achieve development for this country. And that is the predominant thing that we must all seek to promote, rather than the personal, interpersonal relationship matters that create problem. That is not the preeminent thing. The preeminent thing is that we have a certain idea to move Ghana from where we are to a place where all of us as citizens will be given the opportunity to live our God-given potentials and realize development for our country. That is the idea that we must work towards.